Good afternoon, boys and girls. Welcome to the Weekend Funcast. This is a special edition.
It is.
It's not just Russ and I. We got Helene Taylor. And Helene, a member of the United States Navy. And we're going to learn so much about what you do today and how that kind of involves the weather. So really exciting stuff. And I'm already out of my element here. So I'm going to hand off the microphone to the expert with all things weather.
Well, thank you. You know what I was going to say is whenever I'm standing next to someone military in uniform, I always feel a little less than. You know what I mean, Adam?
Yes,
It's
yes,
right.
yes.
It's like, I'm just not that good. No. No. Excited to be here for sure. And one of the things we're going to do, we're going to talk about, of course, the weather coming up this weekend. Both today, our first alert weather day for the heat, for the chance of severe storms. But before we do that, we are going to talk to Helene. Now, I know you have an official title that I won't be able to remember, so tell us what you do.
I am an orographer's mate, so I do meteorology and oceanography for all of the Pacific and Indian Ocean and the Arabian Gulf for all Navy assets, like ships and aircraft.
So you're pretty important.
I would say so.
You're kind of a big deal.
Me personally, I would say so. Maybe some other people wouldn't, but I would say, yeah.
How did you get into it? I mean, this is something that, you know, obviously, more than likely when you're young, you've already got that. I know that was the case for me. I think I was 5 or 6 and knew that I wanted to be a weather guy. Talk to me about kind of your experience to just get to this point.
Same thing, yeah. Ever since I was a kid, I was always fascinated with the weather, and I wanted to go to college for meteorology, and this is just kind of my stepping stone to get to that point. So yeah, I came into the Navy so that I could specifically do weather.
Did you know that you always wanted to go that route, kind of Navy to weather, or was that just something that came along at some point?
Yeah, it was also kind of always in my books to join the military. I remember like always telling my dad like, oh, I want to be a soldier, and so yeah, this is always part of my path. Okay,
so tell me a little bit about, are you kind of doing, in other words, you've got this specific job, this very important job, and it really is. Is this kind of the route that you knew you wanted to go in terms of how you wanted to study this in the military? And even with that, beyond that, what is it exactly that you do? I know you can't necessarily give me all the specifics to the details, every detail, but what is it that you do, and do you like this portion of meteorology?
Right. I didn't always know that this would be my journey, because I didn't realize that the Navy even had this opportunity for me for the longest time. But on my day-to-day, I prepare forecasts. I use models and observations to and climatology to make an educated guess, is the best term, to provide and prepare a forecast for ships and assets.
That's good, using models. A lot of times I'll just throw in my little, protector there, and I'll just throw a dart at the board, just see what happens.
We've all been guilty of that in the weather community.
No, but blindfold, that's what it's called, by the way. I'm getting old, I couldn't think of the main word. So we've got the air show in town this weekend. With that in mind, as you're kind of giving your forecast, what are some of the most important things out there that help the pilots?
So the main things we're going to be looking for is wind direction, wind speed, and that plays into turbulence. So we're going to be looking at what, if any, turbulence we're looking at, and rain and thunderstorms, and as well as cloud coverage. Yeah. Is it going to be cloudy? Is it going to be clear? Are we going to be able to see? Are they going to be flying above or below the clouds? Those type of things.
Do you know, and again, if this is something you don't answer or can't, that's totally fine, but as you go around, you go around to different events, right? Do you ever hit points or times where you're like, okay, we kind of need to watch out for things specifically, or maybe you can't even do it because of certain weather? Yeah,
sometimes. Within my job, I mainly am in the maritime portion, so I'm mainly forecasting for ships within our area of responsibility. So there is times that come up that I will put into my forecast like, hey guys, this isn't going to work out because of this weather, or look out for this weather. And there's people above me that I can go to and say, hey, we're seeing severe thunderstorms and turbulence for this aircraft carrier that has jets on it, and they will kind of help that ship route around those thunderstorms so that they won't experience that.
Totally makes sense. That's really great. So you do, I mean, honestly, that is a lot. I know there's a lot of responsibility on you in these type of events, but you seem to be, I know you're cool, calm, collected, and you get it done every time.
Oh, yeah.
What is your favorite part, I mean not favorite part, I'm sorry, actual favorite weather to forecast?
My actual favorite weather, I would say, would be clear skies, but in all reality, I think it's probably, when it comes to more severe weather, I took a more detailed tropical class last year in May. So I think my favorite part is probably going to be forecasting for tropical storms, typhoons, and hurricanes. It's a ton of fun.
And you get a lot of opportunity to do that, obviously depending on the season, right?
Yeah, but depending on the season, right now we right along the equator, things are spinning up, showing face, but it's been a ton of fun.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I appreciate you talking to us. Adam, did you have anything you wanted to throw in there? Any questions? Any concerns?
Well, I just think it's very cool to kind of, I've done this segment with Russ, and it's interesting. You guys do similar work for sure, but there's just so many different responsibilities, because both you guys kind of looking out for people traveling, For you, it's aircraft carriers. For Russ, it's maybe people on the roads, stuff like that. Yeah. But it's cool to see the crossover and to see the different ways that the forecasting can provide such an important role. Because, what Russ does, obviously very important as well, so people know, hey, like today, first alert weather day, here's how to be prepared for it. And for you guys, when you have something really serious, like, hey, careful with those jets because we got a thunderstorm coming. So it's just kind of cool to listen to and cool to hear.
Yeah. Thanks, Adam. No, I appreciate that. Yeah, and I know that we talk about a first alert weather day, right? So for us, what does that mean? That means any day that's going to have there's some sort of an impact that could, again, mainly, of course, impact our viewing audience, impact people around the community, potentially, depending on the scenario, put them in danger. So we want to make sure we get that out, and it just so happens that you're here on a first alert weather day.
Oh, so awesome.
I know that's exciting, right? You came here at a point where I'm saying it could be dangerous. Aren't you excited to be here?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
With that in mind, I don't know, Adam, I was going to say, if you want me to, we can kind of jump in the forecast. I know there's a lot going on this week in the air show Saturday and Sunday. So want me to hop on and just kind of take a look at what we've got going on?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm going to step aside here and just give you a little bit more room, and you can hop into your forecast.
Okay, perfect. And what I'll do is I'll step. You can stay there if you want to.
Okay.
We like having you on camera here.
Okay.
So again, we take a look at our first alert weather day. What is it for? Heat alerts, and that's just one thing, and also the opportunity for severe storms. We take a look here, and you can see not the entire region under this heat alert. What we do have, the heat advisory, we do have is northwest Minnesota. You're in good shape. Right now, Devil's Lake Basin, James River Valley, you should be all right as well. If you're in the center zone here, basically the Red River Valley, Hallock, all the way down through Mayville, Fargo, and down towards Sisseton, that's where the biggest area of concern is. And what we have is that advisory. It started noon today, goes through 9 p.m. this evening. Heat indices as high as 101 degrees. So again, if you're outdoors this afternoon, you're going to feel it. Make sure you stay cool. Make sure you stay hydrated. All those common sense things that you know to do. The tough thing about heat is that a lot of times you don't really, it's not like an event like a tornado or like a hurricane where you see something coming, or at least you know the weather's going to be severe. We talk about heat, it's like, okay, we'll just spend that time outdoors, and all of a sudden your body starts to shut down a little bit, especially when you factor in that humidity and heat. So again, that's something really want to watch out for today. Going to see if I can navigate both the microphone and pushing a button at the same time with my thumb. And what we have that satellite radar. Now let's take a look at our temperatures, what we're expecting this afternoon. 95 degrees, our forecast high in Fargo. But again, you factor in that heat. It's going to feel more like 100 to 105, when you factor in the humidity. Also, winds are going to be very strong out of the south today. You've probably known that. If you stepped outside yesterday, winds were strong out of the south. This morning, today, that'll go into this evening and tomorrow morning as well. Other areas, Sisseton 93, Grand Forks 93, Thief River Falls 89. You see a lot of upper 80s to low 90s on the board. And again, while Fargo and Grand Forks are going to have the hottest temperatures, what you're going to find is across all parts of the region, the heat indices are still going to be higher. So even if you're in these areas that are as cool as 88 degrees, it's still going to feel like mid-90s, upper 90s. So no matter where you're at here, again, keep that in mind. Again, make sure you're hydrated. So the second part of our first alert weather day is this. It's the opportunity for severe storms. Now, we have what we call level 1 or marginal risk. So that's the dark green. Again, that means you think about marginal, are we really going to see a lot of severe thunderstorms? Well, what's happened over the last couple of months is even when we're in that marginal area, a lot of times we've seen severe weather pop up, whether it's severe thunderstorms, and there is even a potential, a small potential, for isolated tornadoes or two. So again, if you're in this area, dark green, even if you're in the light green, you want to keep an eye on it. But in particular, again, if you're Thief River, Grand Forks, Mayville, Jamestown, Fargo, Lisbon, Bemidji, you see these areas. Later this afternoon, those thunderstorms, could fire up as well as this evening. Now we take a look at day 2. Day 2 is for tomorrow, that Saturday. Check this out. You see some areas in yellow. That is where we have that slight risk, so an even higher risk of seeing severe weather. Once again, the opportunity, it's a small chance, but the opportunity for tornadoes is going to be there. Certainly severe thunderstorms are looking at the chances of wind speeds of 60 to 70 miles per hour. Hail as much as 1.5 inches in diameter. Pockets of very heavy rain. Again, this is potential. It doesn't mean it's going to happen, but the opportunity is there. So definitely want to keep your eyes to the sky. And, you know, your First Alert weather team is going to be right here keeping you on track all weekend with what is going on up to date. But you can see even the areas not shaded in yellow, the dark green, that is where we have that level 1, that marginal risk. So again, not just this afternoon and this evening, but tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening as well. So this is a thing we've been talking about, right? The big event this weekend in Fargo, the Airsho. Here's what we've got. First Alert weather day for Saturday as well, and it's for the reasons we just talked about. Yes, it is going to be hot, not quite as hot as today. Humidity values are going to be warm as well, so we're still going to see heat indices in the mid-90s, upper 90s for many areas. But again, it's also that chance of severe weather, a little more likely tomorrow than even today. And believe it or not, even as we jump into Sunday, we've still got a slight chance of severe weather as well. So kind of an active weekend potentially around the region. And if it's not storming, it's just going to be hot. Take a look at our high on Sunday. We do get a little relief, 87 degrees, our forecast high with those showers and storms. It'll be muggy. Again, that chance of storms is going to be there. Right now, Sunday is not a First Alert weather day. We'll keep an eye on it just in case we have that potential for severe weather. Now, this is Adam's gig, technically, and Helene and I have absolutely booted him off, so I want to bring you back in and kind of your thoughts on the week. And I always like to talk to Adam about, Adam, what are Adam's plans for the weekend? What do you have going on?
Well, I might have to check out the air show.
Yeah.
Because I was actually just over there not long ago, obviously air show tomorrow, but checked out some of the planes, got up pretty close. And if you want to check out some of that video, you'll have to watch our newscast. That's where we'll be sharing some of that. But got to get up pretty close to just, I don't remember all the names of the planes, but very cool planes, very cool jets. The Blue Angels, oh my goodness. Those are just a sight to behold. Yeah. And I was actually calling somebody back at the station. I said, like, hey, you know, I'm trying to find the thing. And then all she probably hears is, right. You know, and then I was like, I think I found it. I'm gonna point my camera at the sky, you know. Yeah. So they were getting some practice in, you know, jets of all shapes and sizes out there, and it's going to be such a blast just kind of seeing those things in action. Even just yesterday, seeing some of those warm-ups with some of the guys from our station here, just going out at the parking lot and checking it out. So getting to be up close and personal. And Russ, you know, we seem to say it every weekend, but I'm going to try to go for a bike ride.
Yeah, of course. No, bike ride, always good. In fact, I know I'll be doing that as well. Tomorrow, actually, I plan to have to get up really early. I've got a 9-mile run. I'm training for the Detroit Lakes Half Marathon. So I've got to start building things up. I'm going to go out, I think, like at 5:30 in the morning before you can even possibly start to get warm, because even the lows are going to be in the low to mid-70s tomorrow. It's going to be humid. I know, okay. I know. And of course, air show, you were talking about yesterday, just how impressive. You don't even have to, I mean, obviously, seeing it, being outdoors, and because they were practicing, you could actually see what was going on. It was amazing. But I was actually, before I came to work yesterday, just sitting in my living room, and you hear it. I didn't see it, you hear it, and I'm like, that is amazing. It's impressive. So I'm excited. Think I'm going to hit the air show this weekend. It is going to be hot, of course, with that chance of storms. That being said, that's not going to hold me back. And I hope it doesn't hold you back at home either, because, again, so impressive. I've had a chance, it's been many years ago when I was very young, had a chance to see Blue Angels, and looking forward to doing that again. I think, you know, I'm not going to give them my age, but it was 70 years ago that I saw them. That's not really true. I'm not that old. But, yeah, beyond that, I think that's it. You know, get a little bike ride in, and probably, I don't know. It's going to be pretty warm. So when I'm not out doing those things, maybe staying inside once again, chilling out, watching a TV show, something like. I like to do my binge TV watching on the weekends too.
Well, I've never seen Top Gun, and I think this is the weekend I got to change that just because they had a Top Gun little display at the air show when I was checking out that today. So, and I've heard it's a great film.
Yeah,
I like some of the music.
Some people like it.
Yeah, and so
no,
I feel like, now I'm like, all right, it's time.
Now you're ready.
I'm not going to give away my age, but 100 years ago, someone told me, hey, you got to watch Top Gun. And so,
that was me. I was 20 years old when that happened. I would have to ask here because obviously, and we've got a couple people out there. Has anyone else not seen Top Gun?
I haven't actually seen Top Gun.
Have you? I know they can't see it. Thank you.
Oh yeah, I get made fun
Thank
of all
you.
the time for not ever watching it.
So my wife, about a month ago, I was talking about watching Top Gun, and I just assumed that everyone on the planet had seen it, and she's like, I've never seen that, and I thought, that's insane, like you're 1 in a million. Well, I have 2 other 1 in a millions, like 3 in 3 millions. Is that the way it works here? So
I believe
you
so.
guys have,
That's good math.
especially you.
I know,
I'm
I know.
disappointed. No, just kidding. I'm joking. It is it's a great opportunity to watch that for sure.
Absolutely. And I do want to ask, because you guys have been in town all week, what's your favorite parts about just visiting Fargo so far?
Awesome. So we've been volunteering all week. We arrived on Sunday, and first thing Monday morning, we were at Salvation Army serving breakfast. I think my favorite thing so far was playing with the kids at the Y. We went during their playtime, during their outside hour, and we had a ton of fun playing football, tag, kickball, playing on the swing sets with them. That was awesome. We've done the Salvation Army breakfast twice this week. We've done a lot of just pop-ups here and there. We've brought our whole meteorology team out there and just talked to people about what we do and about how every job in the Navy is important, but we're more important. So that's pretty much all we've done this. That's pretty much what we've done this week, and we're super stoked for the air show on Saturday. It's gonna be great.
Excellent. That was a good question. I have to say this, really speaking for the community and speaking personally for myself, really appreciating those things that you guys do, that you come out here. It's not just about the event itself on Saturday, it's about everything that goes into it. It's about the things that you guys do for the community, getting out there, getting involved. I know a lot of people obviously interested in this type of thing, whether they're very young or certainly old as well, right? And when I say old, I mean middle-aged. But just the idea that you're out there in the community doing these things, getting people excited, that sort of thing, it just really, I know I appreciate it. I know Adam and
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's been incredible. Just so many different events, from live music to the sled hockey event. Just so many cool events that I've gotten to witness or been lucky enough to capture on camera, and it's not over yet. So it's just super cool, and it's always, thank you guys for your service as well. And it's just super interesting to hear about the day-to-day for your job as well. So I appreciate you coming on the show.
Awesome. We really appreciate the support from everybody here in Fargo. You guys have been really welcoming. I love this homey little town here. I know it's like your biggest city here, but coming from San Diego, it's a little town. But I love it here.
You probably haven't seen Wapton then. That's a big, what a great town. No, and it's funny you say that because I've been here not even 10 months yet in Fargo, and you're right. It's a wonderful community, wonderful town. I know my wife and I love it, and I think it's a great place. It's a good landing spot. Now, one of the things that's happened, this is our 3rd time doing this, or 4th, Adam, and somehow I always end up talking the most and having the microphone, and technically it's Adam's show. So, Adam, I'm going to give you the mic, and if you have anything else, then, that you want to cover. Otherwise, you tell me. You're the boss here.
Okay. I got nothing. I got nothing.
All right.
I think it's been a good show. Do you guys have anything else you want to add?
I'm okay. I'm good.
All right.
And for me, I would just say, with it being a first alert weather day tomorrow, as well as today, with an opportunity for severe storms, and also, of course, the heat. Just know those things are there. Be careful. We're not saying don't get outside today or this weekend. It's going to be lovely. Just know that, again, keep an eye. We got the first alert weather app, by the way. Have that handy. That is something you can take. You can check out the radar. You can check out what the temperatures are. And if you see a storm coming, if you see that severe thunderstorm or even potentially tornado warning pop up, I just want to make sure you find a place to keep yourself safe. That's the best way to do it. But also, again, get out and enjoy the weekend.
Like we say every week, Russ, have fun responsibly.
Exactly.
All right, thank you guys so much for checking in on Valley News Now, the Weekend Funcast. Special guest, thank you so much.
Thanks for
Wonderful
having me.
time having you in studio here. That's all for now. Enjoy the air show, enjoy the weekend, and we'll see you next time.